Good day, everyone, and let's discuss Ebuka Turns Up Africa. Starting, I'll be discussing episode 3 on this video. And one thing I want to tell you guys is the fact that I really love the cast on this show. The lineup is good. For me, before seeing this series or this reality TV show, the faces I do know are just Timini, Zubby Michael, and Ebuka. The other three, I don't know them. But getting to watch this show, like, oh, these people are interesting and they are cool. And I'm looking forward to seeing them more on screen or on shows like this, because they are indeed interesting people to watch on reality TV shows. And the ones whom we feel like we've seen before, it's also interesting to see this part of them away from them haven't gotten assigned roles as actors or as presenter on shows or our favorite shows we've been seeing. Welcome back to this YouTube channel, and this is the Gist with Loba, and on here we do movie reviews and reality TV shows conversation. Without any further ado, let's get into it. But please subscribe to this YouTube channel and like this video if you relate to content like this. Please just do that. You won't be just subscribe, please. I'm begging you. Should I blow jazz? So let's discuss Ebuka Turns Up Africa, and I'm starting off with Timini because he's the most annoying of all the cast on this show. I think I said this episode 1, episode 2, and episode 3, I'm still complaining. And at the point in time, I really get angry about how much of a condescending, rude, and arrogant person Timini is. And I start to even doubt how much of a reality TV show this show is. I'm saying this because I feel like, can this really be Timini? Can this really be who he is? Because I kind of have that thing that, or maybe since he's an actor, maybe he has been given that role that, okay, you just come on the show and be the annoying one, just be the villain, just keep stepping on people's toes and all of that. Like, at a point, I feel like that because Timini overdo this thing. He is so rude, and the parts where he always have opinion or he always have something to say about Zubby, he never sees anything good come from Zubby. I don't know what Zubby, and what just gets to me, or what I feel like with the fact that Timini will always have opinion or will always say something about Zubby, is the fact that Zubby said he can buy Timini. I just feel like that thing really got to him, and still episode 3, in as much as every one of them had moved past that, I guess he's still pained about it. But one thing I really love about Timini is the fact that he's a great part of the show. He made a lot of conversation happen. I think a lot of drama also centered around him. And the guy is just like, I'm here and I don't care. But I think one thing is that the part I don't really like is the fact that you can say your opinion, you can say things, but it should not be things that will really kind of make other people feel less of themselves. That is one thing I don't just like about his comment and all of that. But coming to think about how much of impact he made on this show, I think he did made a great impact, and watching him on this show is an interesting one away from seeing him as an actor with an assigned character or role to play. Moving on to the next is Onoja. Watching episode 1 and 2, I felt like Onoja is like the calmest until I saw Onoja be in a couple of drama, and I feel like aside Ebuka, like these new people, these other 5, I feel like Onoja is kind of like the smartest there. But let me talk about the conversation between Jimmie and Onoja and the back and forth about someone always pouring out their emotion, always saying things the way they want to say it whenever they are angry, rather than internalizing it and trying to have that conversation when need be. The thing is, if it's not very beautiful to see yourself angry and just go look back, and sometimes you even overdo something and you regret your action. When you're angry, I just feel it's better you internalize it, you stay calm, and when you are in a better state, you express yourself. And that was Onoja's point of view, that's how he does. He does not talk over other people and all of that. But Jimmie and Zubby are not buying that idea, and they feel like, no, people like this are very dangerous. I know a lot of people have that opinion about people who don't express themselves when they need to. A lot of people have that opinion that they are dangerous people, but I just think it's just like the best thing to do. because when you think of people who express themselves and get angry and go all out saying whatsoever they want to say whenever they are angry, sometimes you overreact. Not like overreact. Yeah, sometimes, let me even say it the way it comes. Sometimes people like that end up reacting. Sometimes you say things not the best way you would have wanted to say it because you were angry, and sometimes you even do something, and when you kind of rethink or kind of picture what had happened, you feel like, I've done too much or I have overdone this, and it's fine. So I just think that I kind of find myself leaning to that school of thought of internalizing things and letting yourself be in a calm situation or in a better state before expressing how you feel about things, rather than expressing it all out. So moving on to, I think the only issue I had with Onoja on this show so far is the situation where from episode 2, where Zubby and Jimmie were like going on head to head at the golf where they were like, Zubby mistook the situation or that conversation. It was like Onoja, Zubby was on and on the fact that Jimmie was the one who brought that conversation to the table, whereas it was Onoja. So I feel like Onoja was supposed to have come in there and clarified the air, rather than just staying there and make these people look crazy. So I think that's just the thing. So let's move on to Zubby. For me, I find myself liking Zubby, and I really enjoy how much he's very into the show. I kind of really like, the thing is with Zubby, the part where he was supposed to apologize to Onoja and he decided not to. Like, why guy, why this pride? You should have just said sorry. It's simple. It's just as simple as that. Zubby is kind of like a very different blend when it comes to this group. I think this group actually look somehow, they seem Ajabo, all of them, but I think Zubby seem like is the like Ajapaku where they'll make money, like kind of read in the group, and I think it's interesting having such blend in the group. Yeah, it's interesting, Zubby. So moving on to the next is Alistair. For me, I still do not understand Alistair, and I kind of love Alistair also. Alistair is just like that happy. You really don't really get to see so much about him, or like what you can really even hold on, like, okay. And that moment Zubby Michael called him a drunk, I was like, oh, Zubby, try to be cool. And the guy was just there. He did not even go like boom and start like fighting. Then Timmy did not end there. Timmy also called him a joker, but to an extent it seemed like that. I cannot really get to see the drunk part because we don't really see him, or I don't know, I think we don't get to see that part. But the joker part, I think he's just that kind of person. And for me, I don't think he was trying to entertain them or trying to outshadow, or I don't think he's trying to entertain them or try to really be bad. When you're on show like this, it's honestly, you might want to be like out there, you don't want to be like the coolest, or like the person who is not really showing personality, or is not really showing anything on the show. But I think he's just that kind of person. He's just that anyhow kind of person, and it is fine to be like that. But I kind of like the fact that while he was having that conversation and Timini was thinking he's being smart and all of that, he flipped it up and told Timini that when it even comes about internalizing things and not internalizing things and speaking your mind, I often feel like I'm not offended about Zubby calling me alcoholic because it's on him, but you calling me a joker was not it. I was like, yeah. And that makes sense. And I really like the fact that he kind of really said and make that clarity to Timini. I really enjoyed that. I was like, yeah, I don't know if probably this is coming from the point of view that I'm not really vibing with Timini so much, like I'm not really enjoying the Timini I'm seeing on the show, or probably it's just a genuine that I love it for that he spoke up and make that clarity. This is all I'll be discussing about Ebuka Turns Up Africa episode 3.